Hello, everybody. It's Grammy, Antonia. I'm out here at the end of my little road that's my favorite walk. If you follow my channel, you know what I'm talking about. Just wanted to sit out here. Kind of feel like I'm in the woods. I was going to go to town and check my post office box to see if I'd heard anything from the general manager over at Valley River Casino in Murphy. But I'll tell you what happened. Went out to get in the car, got all ready to go, and the keys are locked in the car. When we bought the car, it was a used car, but when we bought it, it only had one key. And the dealership where we bought it at told us they'd get us another key. Well, they never did, and I guess we didn't bug them about it. We just managed with the one key. And the driver's side door has always opened. It never locks unless you lock it yourself. Yesterday, I was out washing off some of my flip-flops because some of them had, like mold on them and stuff that I hadn't worn this year yet. So I was out there with the water hose and a little bit of soap and an old toothbrush, kind of scrubbing up some of my flip-flops. And I noticed that the car was dusty. Didn't need a washing per se, but I thought, well, since I've got the water hose, I'll just go ahead and rinse the car off. So some of the windows were cracked down, because it's been so hot lately, and the sunroof was open. So I went in the house and got the keys, came back out, and got in the car and got all the windows closed. And I just threw the keys there in the console by the, in the middle of the seats, and got out of the car, and I rinsed off the car real good. And then I just started working on my flip-flops again. So neither myself nor my husband went out to go anywhere yesterday evening. And so today, like I said, I got ready and was going to go into town and go check my post office box. Got out to the car with, my drink, my sweet tea that I carry with me, and pocketbook, and ready to go. Well, the door was locked. And I looked in the window and I realized the one key we have was inside the car. I checked all the doors and I checked the hatchback. Everything's locked up. So that's the first time that's happened to us. And we've had the car for several years now. Anyway, my husband's at the house. I'm out here at the end of the road, but he's in the house right now getting on the phone with the Ford dealership to see what we need to do, and to remind them that we never did get that extra key. We just have the one. Anyway, it's a little bit upsetting. Like I said in another video one day, that even the little things are kind of frustrating right now. I mean, that's not like a huge big deal. We need the one work, but we still need our vehicle. But, there's just the everyday things are starting to really get totally frustrating. Through my life, I've always tried to be, or tried not to be, a gloom and doom person. Everything's gloom and doom. Everything's bad and sad. I've tried so hard not to do that. And, like they say, do you look at the glass of water half full or half empty? And I've always tried to look at it as being half full, no matter what. been through some very trying things in my life, and I have suffered from depression through most of my adult years, so it's not been easy. And what has been going on in our country, this wonderful country that I've always felt like it was. And to now realize there are a lot of people in this country that are angry about the way things are going, the way things have been. And we all have reason to be upset about things all through the years, but we've always tried to use our government system, two-party system, to come together and work out our differences and compromise and be for all. And I agreed with that. And also, I'm just going to make a little admission here. I've always voted Democrat. I always felt like I leaned that way. I leaned towards being a Democrat. And as the years progressed and things that happened through my life, and the older I got, I realized for sure that's who I was as far as our two-party system. And I think there were a lot of years where I didn't pay attention to maybe what was going on as much as I should have. But I felt confident even when we had Republican presidents and that I disagreed with on policies or whatever. I felt confident in our system because we had the right to vote, all of us. And that was like a sacred thing in this country. It's democracy, or everybody that is an American citizen of this country, that's your one true voice, is your vote. So when I say I wasn't paying attention, I just felt secure in that democracy. Well, what's going on now is I don't feel secure anymore. I feel like there's a whole group of people that just want to do away with the other group of people. I've never felt that before. And I think the only time this country ever went through something like that is the Civil War. And it was terrible. The Civil War was terrible. Here in our own country, we were fighting each other. American citizens were fighting each other. And that's what's leading up to today. What's going on now? I mean, January 6th showed us that. And that there's a big group of people in our country who want to do away with our government. If we do that, people, we'll be just like a lot of other countries that are having these wars inside their countries. I don't want that. So I have to feel, I feel like I have to say the things I believe right now. In the last video I made, I think I talked about I believe in the separation of church and state, which I do. I believe we all should feel that way. It should be separate, church and state. Religion is a personal choice. What you believe in. What religious ideology, I guess, that you choose to prescribe to. It's a personal choice. And other people shouldn't be condemned for their choice. Someone I was watching the other day was talking about back, when there were gladiators and in Rome when they had the Colosseum and, all the people would gather in the Colosseum to watch these men mostly fight each other to death. And the crowd cheered. And the emperor loved it. He loved it. Because he knew that that's what the people liked. They liked it. And, even the Christians were what we call fed to the lions. Put out in the Colosseum for the lions to eat them. And the crowd loved it. And the emperor enjoyed that because he was pleasing his peasants by giving them this entertainment. It's just some kind of food for thought. And think about how many years ago that was. The debate's coming up Thursday. And I think this is going to be one of the most important presidential debates, especially in our lifetimes. I just have to say that I want to keep democracy. I want our country to be free for all and a place that everybody looks up to all over this planet. Some of the things that Donald Trump has said goes against everything that's been worked for so hard through all these years. He talks about this is on film at his rallies, things he tells the people, and they love it. They clap. They holler. They love it. But he was talking about in a recent rally to have migrant fight leagues where we pit migrants against American citizens and have fight leagues. And he even told the crowd he thought the migrants would probably win because they're tougher. Migrant fight leagues. Oh, they'll come back and say, he's just joking, having fun. The fun he's been having, fun? He said also that if he gets elected as president, we won't have to vote anymore. Won't have to do that anymore. Because if he gets in, then it just stays the way Trump wants it, whoever they have lined up to come behind him. It's called Trumpism. And there's a Project 2024 that a group of people are involved in that is the most scariest thing I've ever heard about. And I don't know a lot of it. I don't even have a college degree. I just have a high school degree. And that's from a little old school here in the Smoky Mountains. Like I've said before, my graduating class, there was only 10 in my graduating class. From first grade to 12th grade, there was a little over 200 students. So I know I'm not like a scholar, but I'm not stupid. And I talked on my last video about fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Donald Trump is not fooling me in one little bit. He doesn't fool me. I've been through enough in my life to know what he's talking about. And to me, it's dictatorship, emperor, king. Pick a word. I like dictatorship because to me, that's what he's the closest to, and that he likes dictators. Again, this country is free. It's a democracy, and a democracy means that all people have a voice. And on Trump's side, the big talk right now about the debates is that Joe Biden's on drugs. Oh, we're going to have Joe Biden so hopped up on drugs. You know what? When that side, Donald Trump, says things like that, it's a confession. He's confessing to what he is. I'm going to say this. My husband has said now for years, through all this Trumpism, that when Donald Trump talks about other people and puts other people down and hates on other people, he's usually talking about himself. And he is. What he says bad about them, he's talking about himself. And in my way of thinking, I think he thinks he's so smart. That's being smart. I've learned that through my life too. That a lot of people that think wickedly and evil about evil things, that means hurting other people. They think they're being smart. That's not smart. I don't understand how American citizens can think that is smart. You act like everybody's been out to get you. You've got it so bad. And as far as Trump saying that Biden's on drugs, Democrats are going to have him all hyped up and all that, well, that's the corporate media. These big corporations And a lot of the media is a big corporation. Well, you know, Trump's talking about doing away with taxes. Totally. No taxes. Have tariffs. Who do you think pays for the tariffs? We do, the people. The big corporations and the heads of these corporations are the ones that are the billionaires and the millionaires. They don't want no taxes. And a lot of them have had all these loopholes where they didn't have to pay taxes. And they like Donald Trump. Oh boy, no more taxes. No more money going to help people that don't have the money they have. No more money for them. More money for them. For the big corporations and the heads of these big corporations. That'll be more money for them. They can buy more homes, more cars, go on more trips, have all the most expensive things there are to have. While we pay for the tariffs. So when he says no taxes, we're still going to pay. But they're not. They're not. And I heard also, I believe it was this morning, that the #1 cause of death in young children and teenagers is gun violence. And we're not doing anything about it. As I've said in other videos, and many Democrats have said, nobody wants to take your guns away. Democrats have guns too. We don't want to do away with guns, but we have to have some reforms. We have to have more regulations on things. Children, the #1 cause of death of children and teenagers in our country is gun violence. Anyway, like I say, also talking about my car and blocking the keys in the car. Yesterday also, I have a big Pyrex measuring cup. It's like a 4-cup measuring cup. And the old-timey Pyrex measuring cups were heavy. Well, yesterday I dropped that heavy glass measuring cup on my foot. Oh my gosh. My foot hurt so bad last night. Now, you may think, oh well, she'll get over that. Well, I will. It's better today after I took care of it last night. But there's a lack of respect for older people nowadays. And it's so real. It is so real. As if you've watched any of my videos, as you know, I fell not too long ago coming out of my shed. Hurt my shoulder, my neck. Still have problems with this shoulder from time to time. I've been having problems with teeth. I had a couple break off and had pain, and even after I got it fixed, hot and cold was hurting me. And I hurt my hand somehow. Not really sure how I did that. I think pulling a big dresser out to change a lamp that I had on there, and the outlet was behind the dresser, so I had to do that. Anyway, all I'm saying is, when I was young, things could happen to me, you know. I'd just dust myself off and take a Tylenol, do something, you know, and go on. It's not like that when you're older. It's harder to get over things. Or, like with my shoulder, I don't expect it to ever be totally healed. I'm not young. I'm not healing. I mean, it doesn't bother me now, but certain things cause it to start hurting. So older people have to be careful and watch out for themselves. And the younger generation needs to just give us a little more respect and understand. If you live until you're in your 65 and above, if you're in your senior years, you'll know that, and you hope you do, don't you? You hope you live a long life, but as you get older, it's not like it is when you're younger. I mean, when you age, life slows down for you. You have to really be cautious and careful about yourself. You can't just throw all caution to the wind. And we need to respect our older people, especially the ones that are still out there living their lives and trying to be kind and nice to everyone. That is, if their family doesn't shuffle them off somewhere and ignore them, or treat them like they're just a burden. Anyway, I get off on a ramble sometime. But until the day I draw my last breath, I'm going to keep on trying to live my life. And as I've said, I want to make these videos. But what's been going on in our country and being the age I am, it is hard. It's hard to live the way I've been trying to live my whole life. But I just want the people that do listen to me to know that I've tried to love and respect everybody through my life, even when they didn't, me, for my differences. I tried. And if it didn't work, I just stayed away from those people. Well, we can't ignore what Donald Trump is saying and doing. We can't ignore it, people. We have to get out and vote. And I pray it's not the last time we'll be able to vote, that we have a voice. So, if I offended someone, which I know I already have, there's been a couple of people saying in my comments, when I started hating on Trump, they said, bye. You know, they said, no thank you. That's okay. That's fine. You know what I say to you? See ya. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Just makes life hard, thinking that there's a lot of people that agree with Donald Trump. Well, again, it is a beautiful day. Gorgeous day. It feels so nice out here in the shade, under these big tall trees. Love to everybody. Maybe you don't have the education like me, but that don't mean you're stupid. And like I say, I've suffered with depression, anxiety. That don't mean I'm crazy. So, just use your brains. And if you're a Christian, pray on it. But don't just sit back and do nothing. Let's be the country we've always been and keep trying to improve and progress and go forward. And let's not be like Donald Trump says, America's like a third world country. Oh, we are so far from a third world country. But if he has his way, we'll be getting close to a third world country. Have a good day. I still love everybody. So I'll talk to you later. And by the way, I have 99 subscriptions. Could be when I finish this video, I may have 100. If I do, I'll put a little short one out telling you. But I'm tickled. So have a good day. Love to you all. And use your brain. Bye.